if you project a fantasy onto somebody and you expedite, you're just like, oh, let's have sex because we this has got to be right or whatever, then it's still, I don't know. I still think that it crosses over into sex addiction or something. You're wanting this, I don't know. I
Well,
just kind of,
yeah, for a lot of people, they're all tied in together. I know for me, I used sex as sort of my main form of intimacy. It was a pseudo intimacy, but even certainly before I got sober, the sooner I could get into bed with a guy, the sooner I could feel like we were intimate. Of course, you wake up hungover and sober, and the guy that you felt so close to the night before, like you can barely look him in the face, right? You're like all
yeah.
shy and awkward with them. But even in sobriety, I wanted to get to the sex as quickly as possible because then I could feel intimate and connected. And when it was over, like, depending on how many times we'd done it, you know, in bed I felt very relaxed and very open and very heart-centered. And um but I couldn't, but it's not, I wouldn't say it's a facade, but it's a fraction of what real intimacy is, right? You need the emotional intimacy and you need the to get to know the person. Otherwise, the sex is just it's just kind of a sliver of the intimacy you could be having. And how real is it anyway? I mean, in the end, how real is it? It's people tend to drop, men especially, I think, drop a lot of their walls when they're having sex, but they tend to go right back up if you're not genuinely intimate with that person. And so,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't think I'm trying to think how long in sobriety before I really had like an open-hearted, let's really get to know each other connection. And it was probably 2003. So I would have been 6 years sober. Is that right? Yeah, 6 years sober before I had the kind of like where I was really getting to know the guy, and the sex was just sort of a gravy, frosting on the cake. Up
Yeah.
until then, it was all about the sex, and then if I could, slowly let the guy into my heart, but nobody ever stuck around long enough to do that. So I was 6 years sober before, yeah, and then he dumped me because he was a closet alcoholic, and that
Mm.
broke my heart so bad that it sent me like much more than two steps backwards.